In this video, I'm going to show you how to invite contractors into Notion securely using granular database permissions, so you can give them exactly what they need to see and nothing more. I'm Sam Bird, and I've helped over 100 businesses systemize their operations using Notion, and I've also sold over 3,000 system templates online. So I know exactly how to set up contractor access the right way. By the end of this video, you'll have a complete system for onboarding contractors that protects your sensitive information, saves you money on Notion seats, and makes collaboration seamless. So let's dive in. First of all, here's what most people get wrong when they invite their contractors into their Notion workspace. So let's say, for example, here we have a database, our master database for our tasks and deliverables. And of course, we want to be able to assign deliverables to contractors to get done for us. Now, it would make logical sense to come to this database and come to the share menu. And let's say we want to invite this email here. So we want to invite Emily. We can find her here, maybe give her can edit content, because that seems to be the most sort of locked down permissions we can give her, and invite her to the database. Now, although this seems fine on the surface, the problem with this is that yes, there will be tasks that may be assigned to Emily, for example, this new task here, but we may also have some super secret tasks that might be to do with our finances, our hiring, any sensitive information essentially. And because we've shared this entire database with Emily, this now means that she will also be able to access some of these super secret tasks. So what's the right way to invite contractors into Notion? Well, as I spoke about at the start of this video, it's by using the new granular database permissions. So as you can see here, if I come to the share menu, as well as the more general permission options we have, you'll also see at the bottom, we have this page level access. And this is basically Notion's new granular database permissions. And so you can see I've already got one for client access, and now I've also created one for anyone in the assignee property. And I've set this to can edit. And so when we look at the assignee property here at the database, you'll see we have this key icon next to it. And so it basically says anyone selected in the assignee can edit this page. So this now means that instead of having Emily have full access to the database, we can just have her access the task that she has been assigned, this new task, and nothing else. So that's the foundation of what we're going to work on. And now let's jump into how we actually build everything else to make this as optimal as possible. So the first thing we need to do is separate our original databases from the linked views of databases that the contractors are actually going to work out from. So you can see inside of Agency HQ within our Agency OS, we have this back end page. And this is where all of our databases across Agency HQ live. Now we do this for a number of other reasons, but now we do this because if we are going to use that granular database permission that we just showed you earlier, then of course we wouldn't be able to then go ahead and just share this database with the contractor for them to work out of, because then they would still have access to the full database. So we still need to keep the original databases tucked away somewhere else. And then that now means that we can create linked views that the contractors work out from and only see the things that they've been assigned. So now we've done that, we can go ahead and configure the permissions that will automatically control what contractors can see, re the granular database permissions. Now there are typically three main databases that we would share with contractors. That would be the client projects, tasks, and docs. But of course, depending on what the contractor is doing for us, there may be other databases as well. So starting with the client projects database, we'll come to our backend page, open up the database, and then we're going to come to share. And as you can see here, we've already set this up. So within the page level access, we have one for client access, which is for client portals. You can check out that video up here. But we also have one for the different assignee properties that we have within the client project database, and we have more than one. And that's because if I was to open up one of these projects to show you, within the side panel view here, you can see we have the team. Now we have the client lead, which typically would always be someone who is internal to the team and so is going to be actually a team member within Notion. But then we also have other team members which may be fulfilled from or by contractors. So we have a developer, a social media person, a video editor, and of course we could add additional properties for different roles. So we've basically made sure that each one of these have the granular database permissions set, so that if we were to invite a contractor and add them in here, they would then have access to this client project. The next one we've already taken care of, which is the tasks and deliverables, and we simply do this by the assignee. So if someone is assigned a task, they are able to see the task. And finally, we have the docs database here. Now, unlike the tasks and the projects database, where we have clear assignees, if someone's assigned something, we want them to have access to it. When it comes to docs database, it can be less clear how we would share access. As you can see here, if we scroll along, we do have this owner property. And so this is basically meant to be for who is the person in charge of owning the document, or who created it and is in charge of keeping it up to date. So of course, if a contractor created a document, then they would have access to it. But it may be times where a contractor didn't necessarily own the document, but we still want them to have access to it. So another property we have in here, if we open up this side panel, is we have this meeting section for meeting notes. So we can capture the meeting date, and we can also capture who the attendee is. So if the contractor was on the main onboarding call with the client, then we could attach them as attendee here, and then they would have access to it. But yet still, there may be times where something isn't a meeting note, but we still want them to have access to it. So for example, there may be a project brief that we want the contractor to have access to, and they may not be the owner of that brief. Now we can make sure that this person property, it has no limit. And then that would mean that we could come in here and, for example, invite Emily, and then that would mean she has access to it. If you're fine with that, you can leave it there. But of course, that would now show for everyone that Sam and Emily are the owners of this document. And so, for example, if it was outdated, someone might reach out to Emily and say, can you update this for me? And she may say, I'm not really in charge of that. So what we could do is add a third person property here. And I would just call this something like viewers. And then we can come back to the database, come to share, and make sure that we have viewers as a new rule, as can edit. And now this can be used for when contractors need to see something. So we can remove Emily as one of the owners, come to viewers, and then add Emily in here. And now she has access. So we've got our databases in a backend page, and we've got the granular database permissions set up for them. Now, before we move on, here's one problem I encountered when trying to implement this for myself. So for example, here we have this Acme Co web design project that we might be working on with Emily. And as you can see, we like to have our tasks here. And then on the right-hand side, we like to have a relation to our docs database where we keep some of our wiki items. And we like our contractors to be able to access any of the main SOPs that they may need to use to complete a task. So we have launch website, and then next to it, we have how to launch website. Now, as it's currently set up, if we wanted Emily to be able to access this, we would need to make sure and remember to open up this SOP, come to the viewer property, and add Emily in here like so. Now, that may be fine if you have a handful of contractors, but as your team grows, I can guarantee that this will become a little bit fiddly. And so a workaround to this is to still have everything set up as it is, but for any of the core SOPs that you will be sharing with contractors in general, set the share option to publish and then publish to the web, and then just make sure duplicate as template is off. And what this will now mean is even if we don't have Emily in the viewer property, she will still have access to this document, and she'll only have view access. So she won't be able to edit the SOP as well. And so now when she comes here and sees launch website, she'll be able to open this up, take a look at the actual information, make sure she understands how we expect her to do this task for us, and then she can just close it out, no problem. And what this avoids is basically having lots of contractors working with you, And then sometimes they'll reach out and say, hey, I haven't got access to this SOP or this SOP. If you just have all of your key SOPs, it may be around 5 to 10 SOPs that you share to the web, it now means that you don't have to worry too much about actually individually giving each contractor access. Optional step, but something I think could be helpful if you have a bigger team. Okay, and with all of the setup finished, we're finally ready to actually invite our contractor inside of Notion. And the simplest and easiest way I've found to do this is just by inviting the contractor to the key main page they're going to be working out of. So inside of Agency HQ, you can see here we have our different sections, and these represent our different team spaces. Now we have agency, which is basically for our general team space, and this is for anyone who is actually a team member in Notion. They will have access to this automatically. And this has two things. It has our agency OS, which has our key goals, KPIs, wiki items, team members. And then also we have our everything page, which is basically our business dashboard, which shows all the different projects, tasks, documents from across the workspace. Then we have dedicated team spaces with dedicated, what I like to call workflows for different pieces of activity that need to get done. So we have a content workflow, which is for managing all of our content. We have a deals workflow to manage all of our different deals. And then what we also have is a clients workflow. And so this is where we mainly use for just managing client projects and getting work done. So because of that, and because of the way we've organized our Notion like that, what it means is now we can come up to this share option. We can find Emily and add her email in here and invite her with can edit access. And now she will have access to this page. So when she logs into our workspace as a guest, she'll just have one page in her sidebar, which will say clients. She can then come to that page. The first thing she'll see is this page guide button. And when you click it, opens up one of our docs in our docs database. And this is one of our wiki reference items. And it's basically how to use the client and client portal. So she can come in here, watch these videos. And as you'll notice, this has been shared to the web. So we don't need to worry about actually individually giving her access to this. She can just take a look already. So within a couple minutes, she can understand how to use this page. And then when she comes down to the main part here, this is a linked view of our client projects database. So again, based on the granular database permissions we've set up, she'll only see the entries that we have assigned to her. So for example, she might see this Acme Co web design. And then again, once she actually opens up this Acme Co project, when she comes to tasks, she'll only see tasks that she's been assigned. She'll only see deliverables that she's been assigned. And then also when she comes to the docs, she'll only see docs that we've shared with her, as well as next to the tasks, any wiki items that have been shared to the web. So just to show you this in practice, we're currently logged into Emily's Notion account and she's in our workspace. So again, in the shared section, she just sees one page, which is the client workflow. If she wants to come and learn how to use this page, she can click page guide and open this up. And because this is shared to the web, she's able to access it. And then we have two projects that she's been assigned to. So if I was to open up this web design, the reason she is seeing this is because she is the developer on this project. And then also if we were to come over to tasks, she's only seeing those tasks that have been shared with her and not the ones that haven't been. And also again, the wiki item, if she needs to open this up, she's able to see it and access that. Now, once I started playing around in Emily's logged in account, there were two main constraints that I found. The first one is, and this is a current limitation with Notion's granular database permissions, Emily is unfortunately not able to add new tasks herself. So if she happened to want to assign a task to herself to track, she's not able to capture it here. You'll see there's no add new here. So that's the first thing. The second thing is inside of Agency HQ, we like to track time. And the way we do this is if I was to open up this task, for example, in the view details, we have these start and stop buttons and this manually log button. And so normally what you're able to do is click start when you're currently working on task, hit stop, and then it will show you the number of minutes or hours that you've tracked. But because Emily doesn't have access to the timesheets database, she's not able to actually click these buttons. So let's go about fixing both of these constraints. So first of all, for creating those tasks or maybe documents, Emily isn't able to do that in the traditional way, but what we can do is in the task database, we can create a form. So we can create this new task form and we can add all of these different fields for what we need Emily to fill out for us. And then as long as we have this share form as anyone on the web with the link, this now means that we can add this link anywhere, easily accessible for Emily, and then she'll be able to fill it out just like anyone else would. So the way I liked to set this up is over in the actual client's workflow, instead of having it up here at the top, because that would mean the rest of the team would see it and it's sort of cluttering up this page, what I did was inside of the client projects database, I created a template, and inside the template, I added 2 buttons. I did one for the tasks, which has a link to the task form, and I also did one for the docs with a link to the doc form. So now if we go back to Emily, if she was to open up this web design project and she wanted to create a new task for herself, she can come down to this new task and hit new task. It's going to open up our new task form. She can now add this information. So let's just say example task. What project is this for? So she can put in here Acme Co web design. Who is the assignee? And she can just say Emily. And then if she knows the specific due date as well, let's say it's tomorrow, she can also add that in here. She can go ahead and submit that. Now it's not going to appear here in the task straight away because the way this is set up, Emily isn't able to tag the project, unfortunately. But what we have a workaround for that is in our everything page that just our internal team has access to. When we come to the tasks section, we have this request view. And this is basically filtered to make sure that it only shows tasks where someone has submitted a form, a contractor has submitted a form. And so now what this allows us to do is we can see, oh, okay, there's an example task. It's for tomorrow. It was submitted by Emily. So we'll put Emily down as the assignee. And also she wanted this for the web design project for Acme Co. So we can make sure that that has been added, and then you'll see it clears from this inbox. And so now back over on Emily's account, we can now see that she can see her example task with herself assigned here as well. And then it's the exact same process for the docs, which I won't go into, but this now means these 2 buttons here within each of the client projects, the contractors can use to add stuff to our Notion. So that's creating tasks and documents taken care of. Now, what about the second problem, which is that Emily inside of her account can't come currently to the time tracking and track any time with us. Now, when I was thinking around this, I was thinking about maybe some complex automation or maybe using AI in some way. But then I realized the solution is very simple, and that's that unlike the other 3 databases, for the timesheets database, we can go ahead and just share this entire database with Emily. So I'll just come in here and add Emily and give her can edit access and invite. And the reason being is that for this timesheets database, the properties are actually very simple. For a given timesheet, we have the participant, we have the date that they logged it, and then we have a relation to the task database. So even if we have a timesheet in here that is tracking time for a super secret task, Emily still would not be able to see this relation because of the granular database permissions we set up. So now that we've done this, you can see in the sidebar, Emily now sees the timesheets database. And of course, we would just need to explain that she can ignore that database. But what also means is that if we were to go into one of her projects, and let's say she wants to track time for the example task, she can now come over to these tracking properties and she can hit start, yes, and now she is tracking time for this task. And of course, she can then go ahead and hit stop, and now she's tracked a minute. All right, so that's the full system for inviting contractors into Notion securely. Hopefully you'll be able to see that this protects sensitive information, it saves you money on Notion seats by inviting contractors as guests, and it makes collaboration a whole lot easier. Now, if you'd like to see more of the setup that I was showing in this video, you can check out this video here. It's a tour of Agency HQ, which is our complete operating system, which includes, as well as the client projects, content, deals, finances, and a whole lot more. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you over there.